Welcome to our Devos, where I am going to teach you how to fight fair like Adrian and Rocky. You know what I'm saying? That's the last time I'm going to do that impression. I want to teach you how to fight fair. Did you ever notice that there are tons of opportunities in our lives for conflict? Well, believe it or not, the Bible has a great deal of things to say to help us to navigate conflict when we find ourselves in the middle of one with a loved one. Now, this is going to really help you if you're married and you don't fight well. And I'm just going to be honest, most couples don't fight well. Like when I get a couple and they're having problems, I'm like, the problem is just like when nations go to war, there are no rules of engagement. Well, I'm going to give you some really practical biblical tips on how to stay straight when it comes to conflict, whether you're married or if you're just having conflict with other people. So let me give you the first one, and this is going to kick off a 2-week thing that we're going to do on this, and that is don't get historical, okay? When you get into a conflict with someone, one of the first temptations that you're going to find is you want to get historical. What that means is you are going to list every wrong that they've ever committed against you before you get into the actual subject of whatever the conflict is about. For instance, couples that fight, and I'll do this from two ends of the spectrum. Couples that, have an argument, when something happens, let's say the husband forgets to pay a bill, okay? And the wife gets the notice, and the husband's in charge of the bills. The wife goes, okay, you know what? When we first got married, you forgot to pay for the caterer, and that was super embarrassing. Then the first year of our daughter being in school, you forgot to send the check in for her lunch, and now here you are again doing that. And what happens is we list all of the wrongs before we even get to what the actual conflict is about. Don't do this. We do it with other people too. We do it in families. We have our litany of things built up, and we become historical about those past mistakes that they made before we launch into the actual conflict at hand. Don't get historical. You have to stay to the conflict at hand, which we're going to talk about more in the days to come. But if you think about it, this is how God is with us when it comes to our sin and when it comes to the way Jesus forgave us of our sin. This is an Old Testament reference, but it says in Psalm 103, verse 12, as far as the east is from the west, so far does he remove our transgressions from us. My goodness, what would our lives look like if God treated us according to our sins the way that we treat others according to theirs? It would not be able to be sustainable because we would have so much to atone for. But thankfully, Jesus covered our sins, and he cast them as far as the east is from the west. So my question to you is this. Before you enter that conflict, are you going to get historical? Are you going to give that person a biography of all of their wrongs? If you are, you're going in the wrong direction. Let's continue to fight fair.